And, you know, just to this fact, the fact that we make forward momentum, we've been taking some steps backwards, very, very distressing. And we are living in this enormously polarized time. On campus, we are focused on how we get our students to talk across difference, but that is only a mirror, quite frankly, of the tremendous polarization in our country, which I do think is hurting us in so many ways and really turning the clock back. How do we move beyond this? How do we function and build bridges and figure out how we move forward in this tremendously polarized time?
Well, I just wrote a book. It has this bland title, Fascism, A Warning. I decided that I needed to put it into a historic context and to try to figure out what happens when societies are polarized, because there are divisions in all societies, and there have been for some time. And I think recently much more has happened as a result of technology and job displacement, a number of different issues. And so what is interesting, if you look at things historically, Mussolini was the first fascist, and Italy had fought on the side of the Allies during World War I, but had not been recognized properly. There really were a lot of divisions in Italy in terms of their government and rich, poor, et cetera. And what happened is this man arises who is an outsider and somebody that knows how to speak well to people, and decides, rather than bringing the society together, began to exacerbate more in the differences. And so what is interesting, and this is something that I learned in terms of doing the book, because then I wrote about Hitler, and then what's happening now, is that they came to power constitutionally. Mussolini was given power by King Emmanuel, and Hitler was given power by von Hindenburg. The best quote in the book is from Mussolini, which says that if you pluck a chicken one feather at a time, nobody notices. So I think there's a lot of feather plucking going on now. And by the way, you can't say those two words quickly together. So,
I love it.
And it is very hard to define fascist, because fascism is not an ideology. It is a process for gaining power. And because there are divisions, what is needed is a leader who can find common answers and find ways to solve the problems, rather than somebody that exacerbates the divisions. And so that exacerbation of really those divisions, and then finding a leader who identifies himself with one group at the expense of another. And then the other group becomes the scapegoats, so they are responsible for the divisions. Then people who think they're above the law and also think that the press is the enemy of the people. So what I now have my kind of, you know, we all know the see something, say something. I have the do something list, and it is to call it out, then also to have people run for office, or those of us that aren't, support them. Then, and this is the difficult part, is to talk to people with whom we disagree. I happen not to like the word tolerance, because that's put up with. I think we need to respect where their views are coming from and try to figure out how to talk to them, and it's not easy. And then ultimately, I said this the other night, is that there isn't a book or a speech written that doesn't quote Robert Frost. So the quote that I like is, "The older I am, the younger are my teachers." And therefore, I do think we need to spend time talking to the younger generation, bring them into this, and really, so I'm often asked if I'm an optimist or a pessimist. I'm an optimist who worries a lot. And so that's why I decided to put out the warning.
I love it. I love it.
Well,